Well, if you see the comment down below, you already know the answer to all this. But however, I'm going to share my thoughts about Naomi in the next video. But in the meantime, let's just get through this video because I didn't really watch Raw tonight. I just half skipped and half looked. So let's go ahead and get started with this.
Another week, another garbage Raw, okay? There's no point of wasting time. Let's just go ahead and get right into the video. The title of these Raw reviews, and even for the SmackDown reviews probably starting this week, is just going to be Raw is Complete and Utter Garbage, Part 31. Today is the 31st Raw that we've had this year. All 31 of them have been garbage to my memory, okay? There may have been one or two that were good, but that's being generous. All of these Raws have either sucked or been mediocre at best, and it's as simple as that. So the same effort that WWE creative puts into making these garbage shows every week, Triple Fraud is taking vacations while the show continues to plummet and be absolutely horrible and unwatchable. That is the amount of creative effort I'm going to put into the title of these videos. So yes, Raw sucks. Now first off, before I get into the review, I do want to say, first of all, okay, this is actually hilarious just thinking about this for a second, right? So I started watching this episode of Raw around like 8:50 to 9 p.m., somewhere in that range, okay? This is Eastern time. Now obviously that means I can, basically zoom through and skip through the ads, obviously, and further myself throughout the show. However, around 9:30 to 9:40, we were already completely caught up on watching the show, which basically means that literally nearly half the show is straight ads. You skip through the ads and you're already at the show. You're at the, I was timed up currently with the live taping. Like, what the heck is going on here, man? It just shows you how much filler garbage. I cannot tell you how many times I had to skip over Michael Cole or Corey Graves telling me about an ad or a sponsorship or this show's happening or that show's happening, or you have the Wheatley podcast, you know what I'm saying? Libation Station, what do you want to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing at this point? Are you kidding me, bro? It is some of the most embarrassing content I've ever seen. The fact that you have a 2.5 to 3 hour show and 80% of it feels like, at least when you're watching it, are ads. And factually, it's around 50% is ads. It's like, dude, this is just unwatchable, man. So after 40 minutes of watching, I shut it off. An hour before it's going to end, most likely, because I do not care. This stuff is unwatchable live. You can't do it. I will catch up, obviously, as per usual, and watch what I missed and add it into the review, but this was an embarrassment. The opening segment itself is one of the dumbest things that I think I've ever seen. This Rollins faction is garbage. I don't even have to be like hyperbolic about it at this point. I think everyone knows this faction sucks. If you really think about the story dynamics and the depth that we had, for example, with the Bloodline, with Roman Reigns, the Usos, even Sol Sikoa, when Sammy Uso was in there, Paul Heyman being there as the wise man. There was so much character, so much more emotion, so much more entertainment value, and there was actually some dynamics, for example, where the Usos would eventually turn on Roman. After having that power for many years and being, kind of suppressed, they turned on him. Sol Sikoa had to come in as the enforcer and fight his own side of the family. Roman Reigns had to fight his own family while also maintaining his championship run. The whole time they had gravitas to the matches, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso were amazing. They're the Usos, one of the greatest tag teams ever. They're entertaining. They had good matches. They had a great tag reign. It's just in the way it all culminated too at Mania 39 and the way Roman's reign culminated at Mania 40. The 4 years run that the Bloodline went on was absolutely awesome for them specifically. The title runs were great. The storylines were great. They were creative. The wise man played a role. Sami Zayn played a role. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso played a role. And obviously Roman Reigns played the role. That is just how it works. That's what makes a great story and a great group. That, like Roman said a couple weeks ago on Raw, it wasn't a faction, it's a bloodline. You get me? And Triple Fraud thinks he can just go ahead and put Seth Rollins, have him have the B title, which is the World Heavyweight Championship. He gives him that belt and expects this to be Bloodline 2.0 or Evolution 2.0. You don't see a Batista here. I don't see a Randy Orton here. I don't even see a Triple Fraud here. I don't see a Ric Flair here. So what are you talking about? This is not Evolution 2.0. This is garbage 1.0. That's what this is. This faction sucks, man. There's no story. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed offer you nothing. What have they given you since WrestleMania this year? What have they given you, seriously? The Usos at least had championship reigns. They were trying to connect those and actually entertain us with their live mic promos and tell stories, which most of their stories and their promos were pretty good, you know what I'm saying, while they were champion. What are Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed fighting for? They are doing nothing. Nothing, man. It's like, what, this is just some of the dumbest stuff I've ever seen in my life, bro. Braun Breaker has no character. Brunson Reed has no character. Paul Heyman comes out and he doesn't even feel right in this faction because there's no chemistry here. There's no tangible aura to any of this. There's no entertainment value. None of it at all. So Paul Heyman comes out. He introduces himself as the GOAT. They're in Philly, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them birds, you know what I'm saying? Fly, Eagles, fly. The Super Bowl champions were up in the building tonight in Philly, you dig? Now, Paul Heyman comes in and calls himself the GOAT because he's in Philly, so you know the ECW ties, and he calls himself God. Again, a few weeks ago on Raw, I think it was a month ago, Rusev had some type of backstage segment with Sheamus. I remember seeing this, and he literally told Jackie Redmond or Kathy Kelly, one of the two, he's like, some people called me God. What? What? Now Paul Heyman's out there, he's like, I am God. You're not God, you're a jobber. That's what you are. Rusev, nobody calls Rusev God. They call him jobber. They call him Miro. They call him a bottom barrel jobber, a mid-card jobber, whatever jobber you want to put attached to it.
Well, CJ don't look at him as a jobber.
Then you have Paulithan Heyman. He comes out there, and what is he talking about? I am God. No, you're a jobber serving jobbers in a jobber faction. That's what Paul Heyman has been reduced to. He used to be a great talent, you know what I'm saying, and he was doing amazing work with the Bloodline, but since that ended, what has he done since? Besides effectively nothing. It's embarrassing, man. And then he talks about, he botched it, talking about Roman Reigns in the main event of this year's Mania. He messed up his words. It was kind of funny, but it is what it is. Then after that, he basically brings up like, what did he even talk? I can't even tell you because I don't care. Nobody cares. He's not saying anything. He hasn't said anything meaningful for months. He introduces everyone individually. Nobody cares about this, man. Then after this, Jey Uso comes out, and this is when things just got completely off the rails because this is just stupid. Jey Uso has not cut a good promo since 1967. This dude doesn't cut good promos, man, anymore. I don't know what happened to this dude. But he comes out and basically, he's yeeting with the kids. The kids get to say yeet on the mic, and they're yeeting with Jey Uso. Look at me, Mom. Look at me, Dad. I'm yeeting. Yeah. 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 No. That's what this is, man. I don't want to yeet with Jey Uso. Shout out to the kids because I'm sure they're having a ton of fun and this is an amazing moment for them and that's great. But as a viewer, watching this nonsense where Jey Uso has to take 15 minutes to yeet with kids in the crowd is getting unbearable. It's been unbearable, man. So he calls Braun Breaker. He basically says the same thing he normally does. He tries to get the crowd to, instead of saying yeet, he tries to get them to say, whoa, 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 hold on. He goes like, whoa, 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 and they tries to get the crowd to do it, and the crowd doesn't understand because the crowd are bots. So they continue to keep saying yeet after everything he says. He says, OG, I'm tired of you. And Braun Breaker, I'm tired of you too. You acting like you can't hear me. And he basically says that Braun Breaker is a puppy dog. And then the crowd yeets, and then he basically says, yeah, you a puppy dog, and now you're trying to ignore me. I beat Gunther at WrestleMania, and you lost to Gunther 2 months ago to lose the belt. But anyways, he says he beat Gunther at WrestleMania and says that he's a real one. Then stops, yeets, and then Paul Heyman gets back on the mic, glazes ECW and some of the greats in ECW, which is cool, I guess, but what place does that have in this promo? You know what I mean? And he does all that and then announces we're going to have an Extreme Rules match with Braun and Jey Uso. We've seen Jason Yeetman versus Braun Breaker, the collection of them fighting each other in either a tag match or a singles match at least 5 to 10 times on TV in the last year if you conclude tonight. And I'm not even joking. You can probably go look that up and you'll probably find that it's in that range, if not more matches than that. And that to me is embarrassing and it's uncreative. I am tired of the 50 billion rematches every week. It's getting unwatchable, man. Like, it's unacceptable at this point, bro. It really is. Anyways, we then move on from this, and we get to another garbage part of the night. Io Sky is now feuding with Asuka and Kairi Sane, because Asuka and Kairi Sane are upset, because Io Sky's character is written like a moron. She fights Raquel Rodriguez, which again, it's the same rematch garbage! Do you remember before SummerSlam when Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss were feuding with the Judgment Day? So you had Charlotte Flair versus Raquel Rodriguez, then Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne, and it was Alexa versus Raquel, and then Charlotte versus Roxanne. It's the same collection of matches. What was this? It's supposed to be a PLE level feud for the tag belts. Now you have this. Io fights Roxanne. Then instead of doing a rematch, they finally have her fight Roxanne's teammate. And then Rhea Ripley comes out, so now we're going to see Rhea Ripley fight against Roxanne and Raquel for the 90th time. This is uncreative and it is garbage booking. It's not innovative. Do something unique. Maybe have Rhea Ripley go out there and maybe she actually gets beat up for once rather than her just coming out and jobbing out everyone else that continues to job out former world champions like Io Sky. It is unbearable to watch. After the match is done, because obviously Io Sky wins, Rhea Ripley comes out. This is my brutality. I'm gonna take back my title I never lost. Yeah. No. And this is my brutality. brutality. This is my brutality. I'm gonna take back my title. I never lost. Yeah. She comes out, helps Io Sky beat up Raquel and Roxanne. They start fleeing from the scene, and then Rhea Ripley stands tall with Io. We then get backstage and get one of the worst segments of all time, where literally lower the volume of your video for what you're about to hear. Io Sky is literally thanking Rhea for helping her. Before the match, Io Sky told Asuka and Kairi Sane not to help her. Now that Rhea helps her, she says thank you for it. That makes no sense, but again, we'll just move on from that and act like it doesn't. Now on top of that, Io Sky, after getting help from Rhea, thanks her, and Kairi Sane and Asuka walk up, and Asuka tells Rhea, do you have a problem? She can help you, but not me. And I'm like, what? Okay. And then all of a sudden, literally out of nowhere, they're talking with each other, saying a bunch of nonsense. Rhea and Asuka are just saying random statements. I don't even know what they're talking about. And then after that takes place, Io Sky literally just shouts. She just goes, stop! What are we doing? This is Monday Night Raw. What you just heard, as nonsensical as it was, that is what happened in the segment. There's no other way to go about it, man.
Yeah, I just halfway listen. I mean, after I, hear all the jibber jabber, I just literally turn it off. I mean, honestly, I had to turn it off because it was just like, again, if they're not going to speak. I mean, I get the Japanese talk, but it's like, yo, you gotta teach them how to speak English, man. If Julia can do it, those two can do it too. I mean, Asuka's been around long enough to know how to, speak English. So, whatever. I mean, I can care less about that segment. Let's continue.
So that's that. Then we move on from this. This segment, by the way, was garbage. It was cringe. It was stupid. At the end of it.
Oh, by the way, I do want to say congratulations to Raquel for getting a positive review her match with Io Sky, even though CJAX said it sucks. I don't think it sucked because I think Raquel made it more interesting and more entertaining, and including Io Sky. I mean, they both did a great job in this match, but Raquel really dominated, and she really needed that impact. So I am proud of her for putting the impact in this match against Io Sky. I thought it was great. But we are going to have Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez next Monday at England, I think. So, or UK, I don't know. But I just want to let y'all know that and congratulate Raquel for her performance. Outstanding. Well, let's continue.
Rhea Ripley looked at the wall where she got injured with Liv Morgan last year after Mania. I did notice that little tidbit there, that little reference, so I thought that was kind of cool. But again, nobody cares. We then move on to Xavier Woods, a New Day, come out there. Xavier Woods gets jobbed out by Penta. All three of them are sitting there. They don't even fight against Penta after the match. He just wins gracefully and walks away, and that's it. The New Day had one of the greatest heel turns in modern history in wrestling, and they get rewarded with Xavier Woods a few months after that now. It's been, 8-9 months since the heel turn, and a month or two since they lost the belts, and now they're getting jobbed out by Penta. That is enough said. We then got Mr. Iguana, I think is his name, or Iguana Man, whatever. Him and who was he fighting with? I think it was Dragon Lee. They fought against the Judgment Day. Nobody cares. The Judgment Day win, and they stand tall with the belts after brawling with El Hijo del Vikingo, I think was his name, or whatever. He comes out there, and then that's basically the end of the discussion. I mean, I don't know what else to say about this. It's a brawl segment. We get it every single week. There's no creativity. There's no nuance. No one cares. And by the way, as I'm making this vid and recapping what I missed, because now I'm in the talking about the stuff that I didn't watch live, right? This is the funny thing. When I go to check on the internet, right, to see what's slated, on WWE's Twitter, they literally announced that next week, you're getting a bunch of rematches. You're going to get Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez. You're going to get Kofi Kingston versus Penta. So you see what I'm saying? They take the same tag teams and a singles competitor and just flip-flop the matches and give you the same stuff. It's the same collection of stuff, just a different week. It really is. It's the same stuff, man. But yeah, that's the Judgment Day situation. Then we got Becky Lynch versus Natalya for the Intercontinental Championship. And obviously, Becky Lynch is not going to lose her belt here, so that was basically the situation. Afterwards, she tries to brawl with Maxine Dupree. And then Nikki Bella comes out in her Eagles gear. She basically goes out there and beats up Becky Lynch. And then afterwards talks a little bit of trash in her face. I don't really know what she's saying, but she's just talking some trash in her face, and she stands tall. So obviously I'm assuming this is leading to a Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella match for the Intercontinental title. But obviously, that's the situation with that. Becky Lynch got beat up by Nikki Bella. We can move on. And after this, we had Naomi unfortunately announcing that she is going to be relinquishing her World Heavyweight Championship because she is expecting. So, congratulations to Naomi. Naomi and Jimmy Uso, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Big Jim, you know what I mean? They're going to have a baby, obviously, right? So Naomi has to put the title away. You know, she does her little maniacal laugh during her promo. The crowd chants, "You deserve it." And normally I get really just tired of the "you deserve it" garbage chants. But the fact is that, look, like, the "you deserve it" chants are actually warranted here because Naomi has done a lot of great work recently. And quite frankly, I was actually curious and interested to see where her title reign was going to end off like, and how it was going to go. And I have not said that about any women's championship reign in the last, like, year or two. So, I mean, the fact that Naomi was the one person I'll say that about tells you a good bit. So, yeah, definitely, you know, it's unfortunate that Naomi has to relinquish her belt. But she does say at the end of the promo, she has some funny one-liners, too. You know what I'm saying? She says that Big Jim loves to Netflix and chill, you know, and another baby is being added to the bloodline. So I thought that was pretty funny. You know, cool little send-off here. And obviously when Naomi comes back, she'll probably be first in line to fight for that world title.
No, I don't believe she's going to be first in line, bro. I mean, as much as I want to believe that she will, I just don't trust the bookkeeper and I don't trust the company. But however, if a Triple H is a man of his word and he'll hold it for, you know, 9 months, I mean, he'll hold it down for 9 months for her to come back and get her title back, then yeah, okay, cool. But just remember, this is 3 times that she forfeited the title, and that's all you get. I mean, listen, anybody that forfeit their title 3 times, that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Especially when this is not an actual injury. This is like you procreating. So it's like, I don't know, bro. I mean, the first time it was an injury. The second time it was a walkout. Now it's pregnancy. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't trust a company like that. But if Triple H can hold it down for 9 months, I mean, cool. But we don't even know if Triple H is going to even have his position as the CCO at that time. I mean, by the time she come back, a lot of things is going to change. And I don't know if he'll stay the same. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm hoping that when she comes back, she'll get her title back, but it depends who's champion. You know, is Rhea going to be champ? You know, is Stephanie Valkyrie going to be champ? Is Roxanne going to be champ, which I hope not? Is Liv Morgan going to be champ? Is Raquel going to be champ, which I hope so? I want her to go after the IC belt, but I'm just saying, like, let's say if she has some competition still with Rhea, or, you know, starting with Liv Morgan or starting with Roxanne. And I told y'all before, like I said, if any one of them win the women's world title, just know it's going to be fatal 4-way on repeat. We'll be running in circles, right? Let's say if, God forbid, I'll just say it like this. Let's say if Rhea wins the belt and then Roxanne wins it from her. Or let's say this. Let's say Rhea wins the belt and then Raquel wins it, and then Raquel wins it, and then Roxanne wins it, and then Roxanne wins it. Liv comes back. She beats Roxanne. Then next to you know, all 3 of them go after Liv Morgan for the belt. Don't matter if she's face, don't matter if she's heel, don't matter if she's a tweener. They go after the belt and no competition. Which means everybody that's in the back roster are going to have to face, you know, Becky Lynch for the IC belt. Which I'm thinking that Stephanie Valkyrie will probably go after that belt. But if Nikki Bella take that belt, I mean, hey, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of things we got to discuss. And like I said, I will make a video talking about, you know, Naomi and her pregnancy. But me personally, I'm not okay with this decision. If this was after Clash in Paris, it would have been no problem. But, you know, again, to do it right now when we got a match in 2 weeks, it's just, to me, I just think this wasn't wise. But, you know, man, listen, y'all congratulate her all you want. I'm just disappointed in her for making this decision by having a kid, but they did say that she's 9 weeks pregnant, so I guess this was before she won the gold, or maybe, I don't know, like maybe last month, I don't know, but damn. Yeah, that shit sucked, man. But I'm just like, I mean, if y'all knew she was pregnant, then why would y'all let her cash in at Evolution? Like, that's why I don't understand. Like if you knew she was pregnant, you could have just, you know, have her hold the cash in until next year. Honestly, instead of just wasting our time like that. But I just hope that Stephanie be able to get, still get an opportunity for the belt. But with this particular change, I just feel so sorry for her because she had an opportunity to get over, and this what you do. So now I don't even know how she's gonna get an opportunity now. It's just there's so much to talk about, but we'll talk about it in the next video. But I just hope that Stephanie still gets a title shot because she earned that spot, and the fact that Naomi did this, man, listen, man. It's just so much to talk about, but we'll get back to the video. But I just don't like it, man. I'm sorry, because I really am scared for Naomi now because when she comes back, of course CJAX thinks she's gonna be first in line, but it's not that simple, bro. Okay, every time she comes back, it doesn't go her way. It doesn't go our way. So I don't know how Naomi is going to be first in line when there are so many women in the back that's going to probably get this title. And the only people I can think of that could get that title is Rhea, Liv, and that's it. I can't think of nobody else because everybody else ain't getting it like that. Becky could get it. Charlotte can get it if she come to Raw, but I don't, Alexa can get it if she come to Raw. There's so many people, but I'm like, okay, well, what about the other women? You know what I'm saying? It's just so many, but it's just like, again, so much to talk about. Let's just get back to the video.
And take back a title that she never lost. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. At the end of the promo, she basically says that, when she comes back, everyone is going to need to proceed with caution, okay? And that's that. Then we get to the main event. Jey Uso is basically fighting Braun Breaker in a street fight. I could really care less about this match. The match is average at best, realistically speaking. And then obviously Roman Reigns comes out and returns for the 17th time. The reason why I don't really care, even though Roman's my favorite wrestler behind Cena, the fact is Roman Reigns returning doesn't really matter. Like, in all seriousness, he's going to return and have a match at Clash in Paris, probably versus Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed. And then after that, he'll be disappearing again and go shoot his movie with the Street Fighter stuff. So it's like he returns, leaves for 2 weeks after getting beat up, then returns, and then leaves again, and then returns. Like, there's no new story depth or anything interesting or nuanced about any of this. Like, I really don't, I'm being honest. I don't understand what the difference is here. Roman comes out and spears Braun Breaker from behind, spears, Bronson Reed, or Superman punches him, and they stand tall because LA Knight and CM Punk beat up Seth Rollins earlier on in the night, and that was basically it. Jey Uso ends up getting the W after, splashing Braun Breaker through a table, and that's the situation with that. I don't really know what else to say about this. I'm not super excited about this because they have not given an ounce of creative effort into booking Roman Reigns since his return, literally since last SummerSlam. Like, be honest, he's had some great moments since his return last year at SummerSlam. I do agree with that, but overall in totality, there has been a massive degradation and degrading and downward spiral for this character. Like, I'm just being realistic with you. At the end of the day, this dude was just one of the greatest champions in the history of the company. The fact that we are sitting here now and Roman Reigns is genuinely booked like a mid-card jobber, I have no words. How is he opening a SummerSlam? He just opened a SummerSlam that's 2 nights. He opened on night 1. Just think about that. Like, what are we doing at this point, man? That's the biggest and best star in your company, and that is how you're treating him at this moment. And he constantly gets beat up by the Shula Fala tribal thief, and he gets beat up by Braun Breaker. So him being back is cool, but does it really matter in the long run? No, to me it doesn't. Until he actually fights for some world title gold, or they actually give him a good storyline that doesn't involve a belt, or just give him something. I don't know what to say about this. Triple Fraud is booking this dude into the ground, and it's very embarrassing to see. But overall, this Raw was borderline on unwatchable, and quite frankly, it was a pretty garbage episode. I'd give it like a 2 out of 10, and as I said at the beginning of the video, Raw is garbage. Part 31. I'm sure next week will probably be part 32. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Raw in the comment section below. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out and one love.
All right, well, like I said, I'll make a video talking about Naomi getting pregnant. I'm probably when this video come out, it's going to be Tuesday. So, I'm going to be going live at 10. So, I'm gonna try to see if I can make the video before then, but if I don't, I don't know. But y'all comment down below. Let me know what y'all think about Naomi getting. Well, what am I saying? You already know it's a congratulation moment. So go ahead and comment down below and say congratulations to Naomi. Like I said, I ain't gonna say it with you, but I'll explain later. All right. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I'll catch y'all in the next video, all right? I'm out.